Hello, it is Wednesday, September 16th, after our second double eviction, and we are less than thrilled. We're going to just get into it. This is Jury Duty, a Big Brother podcast. First off, very excited to welcome back my best friend, roommate, Tommy Figueroa from Queers and Soaps. Welcome back.
Woo. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Definitely thought this was going to... Oops, sorry. You're welcome. Thanks for coming back. Definitely thought this was going to be more exciting than it was. So obviously we saw the expected. We saw Miss Tiffany leave the house tonight. And then we saw Hannah leave. Very upset, but also not shocking. I don't know. Where do we start here? Azah got played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a tough watch.
I do feel really bad too because people are not being very kind to her at the moment on
they
social
are
media.
ripping her apart
But,
on Twitter.
What people need to understand is that we have way more information than they have. Like Azah did. I think that she was being 100% honest when she pulled Hannah aside right after she had that win when we went to commercial break. I think that's exactly what she thought was going on. Like, I don't think that she was playing Hannah. Like, she just operated under what she 100% thought was going to be the best move for her game, for Hannah's game, for everyone's game, and they played her.
Yeah.
I think I was just disappointed because I felt like of all the people for Azah to make that deal with, like, I feel like Caitlyn's name is the one that's been coming out of her mouth. So, like, why make him the one that's safe from the block? You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't read her. Unfortunately, all season, she hasn't really shown who she's loyal to. The only thing we've really seen is her middle school crush on Xavier. Like, we don't really know who she's loyal to. So when she was talking to Hannah, I didn't know if I should believe her or not. When she said, whatever the vote is, I'll be the tiebreaker and you're safe.
Right.
Like,
I was on the fence at first, but ultimately I think she was being honest with her.
Yeah. Well, based
on her face after.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, okay, yeah, this.
And especially, I don't think that anybody expected Kai to use the veto on X.
You don't think so?
In the house, I don't think so.
In the
house, no.
Well,
I think we could have seen it.
Yes. I mean the house guests.
Yeah.
Except for maybe like a DF, because when Julie was like, "You can take the seat in the chair now," he was like, "I'm okay with that," and that was like one of the most infuriating moments of the episode for me too.
Her face the whole time was just shock, and she looked like she wanted to cry the whole time.
She knew right away.
From the minute she was nominated to the voting process, it was just her face was just
the look on her face was like heartbreaking. It looked like somebody just knocked the wind right out of her. It was real. That another tough watch.
Even before they did the veto ceremony, just like you could see like her mind racing. Like she just didn't like. I was like, "Come on, girl, focus, pull through. You gotta win this veto."
Yeah, her mind was racing even during that. She was so distracted during the entire thing. You could see it.
Which was so sad because that was such a perfect competition for her too.
Yeah. And I was so excited to see that one back too, because I've always enjoyed that one also. But it was very hard to enjoy this the same way because I felt like there was just so much on the line.
Right.
And I think Oz's game is now dead in the water too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
At this point, I don't really see a path to finale night that isn't Azah, then DF, and then Caitlyn and X in the final 2 chairs and X takes the win. Like I don't see that not happening.
Yeah.
Unless Ozza wins a veto.
Right.
Or
Sure.
DF like gets a little bit wise or something, and something happens here and like kind of like splits off with Ozza. But
you know,
he's got to win something first. The comp beast that he is.
It's so wild too, because I feel like here we are about to get down to the final 4, and who has the power? Of all people, it's Ozza. We've been waiting for to see what she's going to do, and she had the chance to take maybe the biggest shot in the game so far.
Yes. Yep.
And
she blew it.
She decided not to.
I was so proud of her. I was.
I know.
For one,
I was screaming when she won that competition.
Yeah.
She was basically Hannah's one last hope.
Yeah.
And when she won, I was like, this could actually be something.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as Ozza said to Hannah in the bathroom, like, I'm putting up you and X,
I was like, it's over.
I was like, this deal that Caitlyn made is clearly just so that he's not on the block. That way he can use the veto on Xavier and not himself.
Yeah.
That's so.
It would have even been fine if Xavier won, because then she would have just put Caitlyn on. Or if they just kept them the same, then if we are to believe that she was going to keep her word, she would have kept Hannah. And then one of the 2 top competitors went home.
The problem with that, though, was that it wouldn't have been a tie for her to break. Yeah. I know she, in her mind, believed that she would have broken the tie, but there wouldn't have been a tie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was going to be a 2-0 vote no matter what.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So.
And with that, the Jokers are now the most successful team in BB23 behind the cookout. Okay, so let's hear it for the Jokers led by Frenchie.
Would have thought that
team captain. We're still seeing it. We're still seeing it. The fruits of your labor, Frenchie. Thank you for the selections. Maybe now we can invite them on and be like, listen, we want to congratulate you for picking the most
on your successful
team.
win.
Yes. Everyone said that Tiffany was the mastermind, but was she? Let's sit down and chat with Frenchie.
Which, let's give that a moment real quick, that Julie said on multiple occasions tonight in front of the cookout, and then to Tiffany on her own, like giving her finally the props that she deserves.
Yes. Yeah. I'm hoping that she gets to come back and play again. We saw that a lot, like in the past, and like I feel like the new school seasons. I mean, we haven't really seen that since Paul, have we?
Yeah, he's the last vet we saw come back.
I'd really like to see her come back and play again, and just see what she does when she's playing for herself. I think we said that last night too, but
I'd like to see Chada come back too.
Honestly, I'd love to redo the whole season with the same people, just without the mission.
Let's just do a reunion season.
Yeah, let's just do it again. Okay, let's just do it again. And maybe they can be the next over the top, and let's just see how it goes.
It would be so interesting to see like what this season would have looked like under different circumstances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think in some of the jury house footage we saw, I think it was DX that said like every one of the people that are in this alliance have at some point made a decision that was technically bad for their game in order to protect this alliance.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess your opinion on what a bad decision is, because they made it all the way to Final 6, so that's pretty good, even if you're making technically bad decisions, but. No, it was just interesting. The whole thing was really crazy.
But it would have been interesting to see if Chada and DX remained like a final 2, and Tiffany and Claire remained a final 2 to see how that would have played out.
Right.
No, I was hoping everybody was going to talk a little bit more. I was changing something.
Well, so I would even love, because we've seen, I mean, I guess not all from the same cast, but like we've seen seasons where 4 vets come back. I'd love to see like a Tiffany, Hannah, DX, and Claire somehow end up on another season or something. Some of our favorites from the season.
Yeah. Like an all-star season, or just have them come back in different seasons.
I mean, I don't think we're ever getting an All-Star season.
About to say, I'm a little traumatized from the last All-Star season. Yeah,
I don't think that's ever going to happen again.
Yeah, sorry. No, you can miss me with that one. I kind of feel like production is really steering this whole edit and everything towards Xavier. I feel like that's who we're looking at, like, to win this thing.
I mean, we've been saying that for a while. That like
I know. I just was really hoping it wasn't
all.
true. Yeah, I just hoped it wasn't true.
One of my biggest thoughts, like watching everything unfold. Not even when, it was literally just when Caitlyn won that veto. I was like, all right, Xavier just won the game. Like,
yeah,
that was the moment before even seeing what Caitlyn did with the veto.
I mean, even just in the jury segment, you saw, I think almost every single person in there saying, I think X is playing the best game right now. My vote goes to X. Like all of them said it.
Yeah. And, okay. So there was all right. Okay. I want to do a deep dive here. All right. All right. So we had our conversation last night about like just how the men of the cookout are treating the women and how disgusted we are with all of that. Then tonight we see this edit where, and we're getting all this extra footage of X and Kai talking about like why they're playing the game and like really, really sweetening them up. And I just feel like this is such a cheap attempt to make them just sweeten up their image after all the stuff that we've already now seen on the feeds. And like, it just kind of like turned my stomach. Like Tommy turned and looked at me, was like, oh, that's nice. And I was like, I have comments. But I was like, I just want to save them for this because like it turned my stomach.
Yeah.
I mean, there were even moments, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, I didn't see them myself. I heard somebody talking about them on a different podcast, that like there was a moment where, I don't know if Hannah overheard X saying something about how like the women are just going to vote for the women in the end, but Hannah pulled him aside and was like, hey, it's like low-key disrespectful to make it like the women can't think for ourselves. And like, we're just going to blindly vote for like, oh, I just want the women to win.
Yeah, we don't know what else to do other than vote for a woman.
And then that led to a conversation between Big D and Xavier, in which Xavier was like, hey, we need to like stop saying stuff like this. It's like being viewed as disrespectful, which then caused Big D to cam talk and be like, I'm sorry if anything that I said, seems whatever. And it just felt like, yeah, I'm sure maybe, I don't know like the whole trajectory of everything, but yeah, maybe Hannah making that comment kind of like brought light to things, but it also kind of feels like maybe they were tipped off in the DR.
Yeah, I absolutely think so. And to take it a step further, I kind of feel like that's what a lot of this jury footage was too. This was the other benefit of keeping this double eviction episode at 2 hours, was to kind of like pump all this other stuff into it. I don't know. It just felt very, very contrived to me. More staged than usual. That's
the jury part of it?
The jury part of it. Yeah, I just feel like the way that everybody was putting it together, there were definite, if we go back and now rewatch some of Sarah Beth's comments, like there was a moment in that where she was like, oh, like I don't respect the game. And then like, to just know the inflection of someone's voice and like how someone speaks, there was definitely more to whatever her statement was, and it was definitely edited out. Like, we'll just leave that there.
I see what you're saying.
Like she was probably saying something like, but it probably sucks that I had to go. Or like maybe it was something like that. Maybe, I don't know what, who knows what she had to say there.
Well, even that whole initial conversation when she first entered, and she was like, instead of me telling you, let me show you. I was like, this feels
they're always like that. It's
always like
you can tell that it's like, these are like the points that I want to make, but then like the production is like, all right, just say it this way. And like, they're like, oh, hi, so great to see you.
Yes.
Let's go in the pool. And it's like, all right. Like,
and it's so funny that you mentioned the pool too, because Brittany's account had actually said something about that. Like they had tweeted like during the show, like, oh, I wonder if Brittany is really that into the pool, or they just made her say that. Yeah, it is really funny that you mentioned that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like some of this is being steered a certain way. And like, I get it. The network invested money in these people.
Yeah.
You don't want to have another Mickey, right? You got to try and control this a little bit. So I get it. But ugh.
And again, like, I don't want that to take away from the game that has been played. Like, I don't want to be like, if you take away these comments that they've made, because like we shouldn't, but it's not like Xavier doesn't deserve to be in this position of the game based on like what he has done so far, or like even Caitlyn, like they have won their way. It's not like they were totally dragged the whole way, but most of the contribution was Tiffany call a spade a spade. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And because I mean we talked about that too last night, about how the social game here was just as important as winning the competitions. So you didn't have one without the other this season. Yeah.
It just sucks so much. The one that brought all this together was the first one out when we got there.
It does. It does. But there's also a part of me that says that it is sort of smart. If you were just looking from like a game point of view, like the problem is like we kind of know that's kind of not what it is. But if you wanted it to look at that, it still is a smart move in that regard. So I struggle to be like super angry about it because like
I know, it's just like if they got rid of her for the right reasons, it's the perfect move to get rid of her at 6.
Right.
It's just I don't know that they did.
Asa would have just put up Caitlyn and Xavier, the game would look so different right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because one of the bigger threats would be out.
Right, because now we already know like what next week looks like.
They might as well just take it to the finale.
Yeah.
She absolutely needs to win veto or she's done. She can't play for HOH.
Yeah.
No. And I mean, good luck to her. We have not seen her have any large successes this season. So this would be the only one.
Well, she won HOH against Xavier, so
Right. It happened once. It could happen again.
It could, but I mean, just like, if somebody was struck by lightning, I mean, it did happen once. It could happen again. That's all. It's a probability here. I have concerns. That's all. I don't like this janky episode tomorrow. I don't like this. I had plans tomorrow. I mean, I have to keep them.
Janky.
But, I just think that's a mess. They just don't know what to do with us come September. They don't know what to do with us. I don't know.
I mean, I'm kind of excited for 3 days in a row of Big Brother, but that's just me.
True.
Well. I would be excited if Hannah was still in the house. I guess that would change.
Right, under other circumstances.
Yeah, I'm not rooting for anyone now. The only people who can play is Caitlyn, Xavier, and Big D. That's not an HOH I need to rush home for. Just check the socials. It's fine. I'll get the context later.
Feeds did already come up. We do already have at least our HOH from what I can tell.
Well,
I don't know if we know who the nominations are. I'm not going to get into that just yet. But just know that we know.
See, I would like to know, but I know that Tommy does not want to know. So we'll chat about that later.
I want to know at this point. I don't care. Just
hold on. Let's see what we have here. I just made a completely bad move. So should have put Caitlyn next on that. Yeah, she should have. Yeah. Thank you. Always Mrs. Right, because you are.
Very, very right. Very right. And the last comment from this person too about the men. I know we talked about it a lot, but there was just this other, little comment from Kyle. He goes in, he's casting as this reason, and he's like, I have to admit, Big D has really made some contributions in this game, and people don't really talk about it. And I'm like, so you're saying that he's made more contributions than Hannah, and that's why you're casting your vote.
Right. So you're saying that Hannah didn't make contributes to the game?
Yeah, and I just felt like it's just.
That almost made me feel like, to echo Gina's sentiments from before about how like maybe production is kind of like tipping them off a little bit to how they're being viewed. Like that comment is almost now to like throw people off. Like, oh, I know what you're thinking. Right. It's not this. Y'all just don't know. Y'all don't know. Even though you guys watch the feeds all the time and you're refreshing all the tweets. You don't know. Right. So like.
It's also like Kyland, I think, lost himself this game tonight. Like getting Xavier out would have been the smartest thing for him to do, but he's so dead set on this plan to take the strongest player to final 2 that he lost himself the game.
Yeah. Unless he just, I don't know that he thinks that's what it is. I wonder, do you think that maybe he just thinks that he really is like just better than Xavier, and Xavier is his best chance for somebody to bring him to Final Two so that he thinks he can beat him? Like, it has to be that.
I can only go based on what I've heard him say and what I've heard other people recount from what he said. And he has said, I need to bring Xavier because he's the best player, and I have to bring the best player to Final Two with me. He's thinking of it.
This doesn't make any sense.
He's thinking of it as a Derek Cody situation. He's just not realizing that he's the Cody.
Yeah, he doesn't realize which person in that situation that he is.
I have to say, I enjoyed Brittany's consistency with her disdain for Caitlyn.
Oh my God! Yeah,
she has not been bitter since he put her on the block that first week.
Yep.
And she has not wavered.
Yeah, just in that moment alone, right there, I was like, you know what? Because I felt like earlier on in the season, like, it definitely gave Brittany some flack for some things, you know. And then she said that tonight, being like, "Oh, Caitlyn's still the most annoying person in the house to me," and I was like, "You were right all along, Brittany."
Oh my gosh, we're so sorry, Britt.
Yeah.
Like it was good to see her. I enjoyed her tonight. I still do not miss her rapping.
No, I never need that
Brittany.
again. I never need that again.
That poor girl.
No. But I do agree that I agree about this. Caitlyn isn't going to win the game next time. No, I don't think he is. I think that maybe he thinks he will.
Right.
He thinks he has the jury votes, but I mean, we could have told you that he doesn't. But then even if we were confused about that, tonight's jury segment pretty much put the nail on that.
I think that pretty much confirmed that. Yeah,
because there was like
even Sarah Beth is not about it.
Right. And there was like a brief moment. Yeah. Oh, yeah, me too. And there was like a brief moment last night where I was thinking maybe if he were to win another HOH or two and win another veto or two, maybe like Caitlyn like would be in a decent spot to win. But like you said, Gina, after tonight's footage of the jury house, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No, I really felt for Sarah Beth because, like, again, there's a difference between I just outgamed you and I didn't tell you about this alliance and like whatever. And that's, you know, you can respect that. But there was so much that he did lie to her about that just he didn't have to lie to her about, and ways that he kind of like manipulated her. And there were those late night conversations where he would just talk at her until her brain was mush and she didn't know what she was doing anymore. And like, you could tell how in pain she was thinking about that, realizing like that he didn't really have her back at all. Yeah. And you know, it's not just that, you know, it was the cookout, I was in a different alliance, sorry about it. It was like a lot of extraneous stuff outside of that he didn't really need to go that hard in tricking her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I enjoyed when she said in the jury house that had she known, or had he like clued her into it, that she would have blown it up in a second.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
And I didn't doubt that. I don't
doubt that either. And that's exactly. And I was actually then a little bit more proud of Caitlyn then for not having not told her, because I had even said like, I don't know, because of their relationship, I felt like maybe he should have told her just so that her feelings wouldn't be hurt. But then after she said that, I said, well, okay, well, I guess he made the right decision.
Claire almost got me emotional again when she was talking about why she's not mad at Tiffany. It was giving me like her DR vibes, and I was like, oh god, here we go again. I'm getting emotional.
Yeah.
But I'm very interested to see everyone's reaction when they see Tiffany walk through that door.
I can't wait to see this next jury, especially like poor Claire now seeing that Tiffany's coming in right behind her. Like, how embarrassing also for Tiffany. Like, that whole thing is a mess.
Yeah.
She had a typo here. She meant to say shouldn't have. But Caitlyn shouldn't have told everyone about the alliance and the goodbye messages. I don't think he should have either, but I think he did that for jury management. I think he thinks it's going to help him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally understand why he did it. I just think it backfired on him.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that helped him at all. But
yeah,
good.
It like, did you can't be mad at me. I didn't do it on purpose. It was because I made a promise week one.
Right.
All my decisions weren't my own.
Right. But we did see tonight, because I haven't seen all of the goodbye messages, and we did see tonight that there were other members of the group that did say in their goodbye messages things like I'm working on this other mission, or I have a different purpose in this game, with kind of like saying little things like that. And like you could see as people were coming into the jury house, they were kind of piecing it. Oh, like, well, this person said this in my goodbye message, and that person said this. So I think Caitlyn was definitely the biggest offender in that category, but it does seem like there were actually a few others that were kind of like slipping little. Well,
I think Azza said there's a cause that's close to my heart or something.
Right,
like
near dear to my heart, something like that. Yeah. Which I kind of get it. I just feel like Caitlyn was the biggest offender.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
He definitely was.
Well, if memory serves, when Caitlyn did it the first time, they had all made a plan to not tell anybody in goodbye messages, and he was the one person to be like, "I'm going to do it anyway," and it was like a whole big thing of like, "Uh-oh."
and I think he was also the one person that was like, actually said there's a bigger alliance. Everybody else might have said, "Oh, I have this other mission I'm working on," or blah blah blah. But he was the one to be like, "There's a group, and I'm in it."
Yes, and he was also. I think he was also the first one to drop the word alliance.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
I think so too. Yeah, that sounds right to me.
I just didn't understand when it was down to Claire and Alyssa, why it still had to be a secret. Like they were outnumbered. Like they were going.
Mm-hmm.
We sort of got into that too, and I think we landed on it was Xavier was the main issue, like because they didn't want Alyssa to know, because they didn't want it to blow up Xavier's game and have Alyssa be like really mad at him.
I think at that point too, though.
Who cares?
Again, if memory serves, I think during the double at that point, everyone was pretty much down to tell Alyssa. Xavier was the one being like, "No, don't tell her," because I think for Xavier, he was like, "She will be mad if she knows that I kept this from her the whole time, so nobody can tell her."
But who cares? I mean, like, you should be mad about me. You don't think she's gonna be mad over there? I guess you just don't want to be mad in your face. I mean, I get that, and you still have to live with the girl. But no, this I agree with. She wasn't.
Yeah.
Sadly. Although according to Caitlyn, that's not so. So maybe we're just uneducated.
Yeah, because apparently Hannah has done less than Big D in there.
And I mean,
according to Caitlyn.
Hannah even called that out too. Like during her exit interview with Julie, she said something like, Caitlyn really wanted to like take the strongest player to the end of the game. Like, I guess he thought I wasn't worthy, but fine, whatever. Right. And I was like, yes, you call him out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't wait to see what happens when these cookout members question like Caitlyn and Xavier, because we basically know that's going to be our final two, right? Yeah. I just feel like Kylan's going to get ripped up, and I'm excited.
I hope
for
it's unanimous. I hope they all vote for Xavier.
I mean, it's looking pretty likely after that jury segment, I think.
I just we're already like, we already know the final two.
Yeah.
Just want some kind of miracle. I want at least like just Caitlyn, get out of here. I don't want him. I don't want him to be in final two now at all. I don't really want Xavier to be there either, but I don't know.
I mean, out of the people who are left, Xavier is the most deserving.
He is, but I've had it with all these men. I've had it with all these men.
I honestly wouldn't mind if it was Xavier and DF at this point. But he's not going to drop Caitlyn.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, genuinely, I don't know who Xavier can sit next to and lose,
Not at this point.
Yeah.
I guess we know our winner.
Yeah.
So who do we think is going to win America's favorite house guest? Do you think
I don't know now.
Yeah, I really don't know either.
Nobody who's still left in the house.
I think our top three is going to be Tiffany, Claire, DX.
Yes.
And one of the three of them is going to get it.
Yeah. Okay. I see that. I think you're right about that.
And I think it's going to be Tiffany or Claire. I don't think it's going to be DX anymore.
I wish there was one more.
He feels like so long ago.
I know.
Sadly, he feels like a really long time ago, and he wasn't. What was that, 3 weeks?
People love DX though. Love DX.
I know they do.
I even went to look. So who knows what this really means? But I happened to see a post from Claire's, I think it was her Instagram today, like saying like, "Oh my God, thank you so much, 20,000 followers," right? And I was like, "Oh wow, Claire's got 20,000 followers. That's awesome." And then I started like going and looking at some of the other cast members. Derek X has like almost 70,000 followers on Instagram. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he is very popular. I know he's been out for a while, but people love him.
That is, it's true. It's true. Just will that carry over now for another 2 weeks? I don't know.
Especially, I feel like so many people are going to be in the boat of like, Tiffany did so much work. Tiffany's a legendary player. We can't send Tiffany home empty-handed. We have to at least give her America's favorite. She deserves some kind of something for this season.
Right. And that's kind of where I am now with my vote. You know, I was really going hard that I had to vote for Claire. But I also thought like that was during a time when I thought that my final two would include Tiffany and that she was not going home with a goose egg. Like, and I thought she was at least going to get her 50K. So I was like, I was fine with this. But now I feel like I got to like retool things. But we still have a lot of episodes left.
Yeah,
You know, there's a lot still to happen.
At this moment, my preference for America's Favorite House Guest would be Tiffany #1, then I think Derek X, and then Claire. I think that's where I would rank my personal preferences.
Ooh, fun.
You know, I think I agree with that.
Yeah. What about you, Jeans?
I have no idea. I know that's the 3, and I don't know where I fall.
You don't know the order you wanted in.
Yeah, I think I would say I want Tiffany first.
I do agree that I think Tiffany deserves something for this season. She's probably going to have my vote.
She just worked too hard. She worked too hard to just go out like this. You know, she put this whole thing together. And then the audacity for these freaking guys to, at the end of the day, say like, "Oh, we can't trust her." Meanwhile, it's funny when you really look at it too. Like Hannah, from Hannah in her exit interview, right, saying like, "I did feel really bad about doing that to Derek X." Like she like was very firm in like helping him out of the house. Tiffany was the one that actually sent her person out of the house. And then here we have Caitlyn and Xavier going like, "Well, I just can't trust them. I just can't trust them. They always put their personal interests first and blah, blah, blah." Like anytime, I know that Tiffany in several weeks considered trying to change the vote. But whenever she did try to consider changing the vote, it was never to put like a member of the cookout on the hot seat. It was always to put somebody else that was outside of the cookout. You know what I mean? Like, so, everybody in this game makes different moves that they think are going to help their personal game. Tiffany was the same way, but she also is the reason that all these people made it to where they were. And at the end of the day, for her to go out with them saying that they felt like they couldn't trust her, or she had, put her own self-interest ahead of the cookout too many times, or blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, she did this. This was her.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
I wish that there was like one more twist that we got to vote, like almost like we got to vote like the next person out, or we get to vote who's on the block, like something. I guess the whole high risk, high reward theme is gone now. I feel like we haven't heard.
I think there's still one more twist.
Ooh, you have been saying this.
I have been saying that. I think it's coming finale night. I think it's going to be what?
Like after the whole coin of destiny.
Yeah, no, I think we still have one more to go, and I think it's coming to us finale night.
Have you said this on the podcast before, or were you just?
I don't know if I said it on the podcast or if I just said it to you guys, but like I know I've said it before because I'm very excited at my theory, and I feel like it's crazy enough to actually happen. So if it does, I want y'all to know you heard it here first, okay? But I think the twist is going to be, because I think 750,000 is such a weird prize amount, and I feel like they're going to get this option of like double or nothing. You can either go back to your 500K like you would normally get, or if this crazy destiny thing goes on, then you get to double it and you'll go home with $1 million. Because what is 750K? Sounds crazy to me. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I really want to bring up this comment though, because this is
I know,
what
I saw it and I
Yeah.
got really excited about it.
Yes, because we discussed this before at the BB Box, and everybody said no.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. I still think there's voter fraud. Yes, viewers confuse the names of DF and DX affecting the voting for BB Box. Same may happen. Yes, I'm very concerned, and I need
And
to see
honestly,
a list of, like what we have in place, the controls and things to make sure this does not happen.
I genuinely
Okay.
think there is some merit to this theory because as soon as Derek X was out of the house, DF did not get 100 BB bucks that week.
Oh,
He
all
went
of a
down,
sudden,
like,
now there's some
significantly.
merit. Now there's some merit. I had
No,
said.
I didn't deny it. I didn't come at you. Don't come at me.
I was like, oh no, everybody loves DF. Everybody loves DF. Yeah. See, I don't know.
We were
I
theorizing.
called malarkey weeks ago. Okay.
If there truly was voter fraud, I would hope that by now CBS has found a way to protect the integrity of this vote going forward.
To
Then
my
I think the
knowledge,
entire season should be scrapped and we start again, all right? Because they messed it up anyway, so now they get another shot to get it right, okay?
to my understanding, if people just voted Derek, you would get a response back saying like press 1 for Derek F and 2 for Derek X or like whatever it is. So it wasn't like they were just getting Derek and being like, give it to them both. I don't know. But like, I don't know. Something seems weird there.
Yeah, a little fishy. If you'd like to help me mount an investigation, by all means. Like, I'd like to look into this because then we should get a do-over.
Are we gonna employ Xavier's legal team or what's up?
Oh my god!
You know what? I don't think Xavier would make the claim because he's probably going to win, but I'm sure Caitlyn's will.
Oh,
Okay, so
I wonder if production has told him about the tweets.
I heard the production doesn't like him. I read something about that. Like,
So yeah, while they were filming the double yesterday, there was a bit of a feed leak where like we didn't really get any information, but we were seeing like the animals on the screen, but we were hearing audio of production explaining the rules of the veto competition. So we knew that we were getting what the bleep for veto. And they were just like going through and doing like practice runs or whatever. And I think it was whoever was standing in Caitlyn's spot, like production wise, whichever producer was standing in that spot won the game. And everyone immediately started, like all the producers were like, boo! And like just acting like really like pissed off about it. Like,
Oh my
that's
God.
fantastic. Yeah, I just read a tweet that said, oh, there was an audio leak. What happened? Oh, all we found out is that production doesn't like Caitlyn.
same girl.
Oh, that's amazing, honestly.
We didn't say because we're unenthused.
I mean,
Xavier.
I don't really want any of these guys to win. So, like, if I really had my way, somehow Azu would be walking out through that confetti.
Yeah, really.
Night.
At this
But,
point,
yeah.
I would like for Aza to win.
Yeah.
I think
I
at this
know
point,
she
Xavier is the most deserving and is also probably the most likely, given who we have left.
That
Yeah,
wasn't the question now.
Yeah, I
It was
think-
who would you like?
I mean, I always
Yeah.
want the best player to win. The best player went out the door tonight, so the second best player
But-
is going to be Xavier.
You know, but see, here's the thing, though, and this is why I feel this way. Like, as much as we were talking about the social game, right, being a big
Yes.
part of the game, like, I think that if you do not have a good social game, that should negatively affect you. And I think that some of this sexist behavior that we've seen does not, it takes away from that, from how much they really deserve it. You know what I mean? Like, if you can win all the comps, you got to this spot, great. Like, you have the votes, Xavier, blah, 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 whatever. But like, you have done things in your social game that make me feel like you don't deserve it as much. So, you know, that I'm just like,
Yes, but you know what? The house guests don't seem to be fazed by any of that.
I mean, it's also like, how much do all of the house guests know about it?
Right.
You know, we all know about it because we're watching it on feeds, and we know that Caitlyn and DF know about it because they're part of the conversation. But clearly, Azza doesn't know about it, and Tiffany and Hannah were just speculating. Maybe the guys are working together. No one really knows about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's not like they can really vote based on that information.
Right.
There was a brief moment before they voted Chada out that I thought maybe they would vote to keep her, because it may have been last week. I remember DF saying to Xavier when he was HOH that he was gonna target Kai. When he was asking who would you target, and he said Kai. So I thought he would be like, DF said he would target you, and maybe there'd be a chance that they would vote DF out, but that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I was trying to not get my hopes up, but I was a little hopeful because it looked like they were like the two of them, Caitlyn and Xavier. It looked like they were like, they weren't with everybody when they came back from commercial, and then they were still kind of like whispering to each other on the couch, and I was like, are they like, is this genuinely a choice that they're like, I don't know what to do right now, and they're trying to like figure it out? Could we save her? Is this going to happen?
Or it could have just been for show. It could have been like when Chada won HOH and everybody came in and she's like, okay, send this one in, just to make it she was talking to everybody. It could have been that.
No. I out loud actually said, I was like, what's with all the whispering, guys? like Julie's calling you into the room, you're taking forever, like we know what's about to happen, just do it.
Right.
Julie was not happy with Asa when she didn't roll her ball at the same time.
Oh yeah
at the same time.
I thought she was gonna get disqualified.
No, I mean, like, I would love to see it. I mean, not to Asa. Well, who cares now? I mean, she still did the wrong thing, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But like, I'd like to see it, just not didn't want it to happen to her. I want to see somebody be disqualified in the middle of a competition. That'd be so exciting. Get like Shima all over again.
Oof.
We talked about this last night, but like, yeah, I respect it, but I'm so annoyed with it tonight now.
Asa is the only person this season that has never seen the block.
Right.
And there is something to be said about her social game.
Well, she's going to see it tomorrow.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, probably. That Xavier Kai wanted to give Hannah a sympathy vote.
You know what? Actually, so maybe that's what they were whispering about. Should we give her a sympathy vote or not? Because they probably, I wonder if they would have thought, like, will Asa do what we want if we give her?
I think that would have been the problem, is that she would have been the tiebreaker. And given her face, seeing what was going on, I think that like they pretty much know that she would have saved Hannah in that moment, because clearly she's now seeing she's at the bottom.
So, this question is making me think, like, maybe the whispering wasn't like, who do we keep, who do we send out? Maybe it was, do we do the sympathy vote or not?
I did think about that. And because I was like, do they care which one stays, honestly? But Chada's a stronger competitor, so I think they
care. Yeah, no, they should care.
I mean, not according to Caitlyn, but...
I still think it was the wrong decision. But I mean, like, man. God, I don't know. It's just a mess. The whole night was a mess.
I mean, my heart almost stopped. My heart almost stopped when Caitlyn walked into that DR and sat down, because Julie said, like, please cast your vote to evict. And the first thing he said was, Derek, something, something, something. And what he was ultimately saying was, like, Derek's done stuff that you don't understand. But, like, he said his name, and I was like, oh my God, he's going to vote at Derek F. And then he went on to vote at Pollard.
That's what I thought too. I literally thought he was getting ready to say, Derek F has done some things in this game, so I'm going to vote to evict him. That's what I thought. That's where I thought he was going with it.
I had a moment. I thought that too for a moment.
Yeah, I was really annoyed. I was very annoyed by this, that Tiffany got sent out unanimously. Yeah. That really bothered me. Like, it's because it's
I just wanted something to happen that we couldn't see coming. Like when Asa won, I was like, all right, things are going to get shaken up now.
Yeah.
That was the only thing we didn't see coming.
I screamed when she won that HOH competition.
I was clapping. I was clapping at the TV every time she got a ball on that grass.
I was nervous, though, because this doesn't shock me, sadly. And I said
this is exactly what I saw coming. It was just what I really didn't like. I was really hoping that Asa was going to win, and then Hannah was going to take home the veto, and then one of the men had to go home.
Yeah.
Here's a question: given that Xavier has been throwing competitions all season up until recently. Do you think he threw the HOH competition to Azza just so she could have something?
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
No.
that's a very risky move to make at this point in the game.
Yeah.
But just the fact that, like,
it's an interesting thought. I thought about it.
But it is interesting when you think about it, because in the middle of a double, Kai and Azza had apparently made this plan, and like Xavier, like I just felt like everything just felt so like it just went so smoothly for Xavier and Caitlyn, even though they didn't win the HOH, that it was like maybe this plan was in place ahead of time. Where, like, if there's another double, or if this situation occurs and Azza wins HOH, even if it's a regular week, like, this is what we'll do. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I don't think they saw the double coming, but I think at this point, like, you kind of have to think, like, step by step from now until finale night. And given the fact that Azza really was so, like, clued out to the fact that the men were working together, I think that it was like they in their brain said, all right, we're going to get rid of Tiffany, then we're going to get rid of Hannah, then we're going to get rid of Azza. But, like, in order to do that, we need to make sure that Azza's not going to try to take Hannah off the block or anything like that. Like, we need to make sure that she in her brain believes that, like, this is the way that it's going to, like, get laid out. So I don't know if they necessarily plan to throw this competition, but I think that they did have a plan in place in the event that Azza did win something to have it go their way.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he could beat DF or Azza.
Yeah.
Well, the question was, who could Kai beat in the final two? Anyone? I just like to read it out loud to people who are actually listening.
Right, the audio, yeah.
Yeah, just in case people are listening. So yeah, who could Kai beat in the final two? Anyone?
He could beat DF and Azza, but it depends on how bitter the jury is against him.
Exactly. Yeah. No, you're totally right.
Yeah,
totally right.
I think that's kind of the problem.
You're totally right.
And without more jury footage, who knows? Because I'm really curious now to see what's going to happen when Tiffany and Hannah walk in that house and what they say and the conversations that happened around them, because they're really going to now be controlling this narrative. These first two coming in are now going to have to explain the cookout and, like, whatever activities took place. Like, this is interesting.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that they're the first two in to me, rather than like a DF or a Kyland being the first two. You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting that Tiffany and Hannah are the first two going in.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely not how I saw that going.
Again, though, like, if they were evicting based on gameplay and who is going to be harder to beat, that is a correct decision. But that's not why they were sending them out.
Right. Yeah.
It just feels like, once again, we have two jocks in final two. That's boring.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought that I would have this feeling.
Yeah.
Going into the final four, like, I just had this. I felt so, like, sad tonight.
Yeah.
After
No,
the episode
I feel
ended,
like
I was just, like, getting my things ready. I was like, here's the microphone. Turn on the light.
Yeah.
I feel like once we got to 6, we were like, finally, like, now we get a season that we always wanted. Like, this is going to be great. This is so exciting. And then, like, yeah, we do still have that, but there's, like, all of these extra pieces to it too, that it's like, why do we have to?
It's like,
we can have one
there's
nice
like a dark
thing.
cloud over it.
There was, like,
let us have a nice thing.
Yeah, like, there was such, like, a high, right? Like, when we got to that historic moment, and we all see them
and
in the kitchen together.
From that, like, that's still such a monumental thing.
Right. And, like, we seen them all in the kitchen for the first time, hands in, the cookout. Like, it was just such an incredible moment. That's why, and that's why, like, I never expected to feel this way. Like, after seeing Tiffany, just seeing how this week played out and how the double played out, like, I was rooting so hard for Tiffany and Hannah, and, like, to see them both go out this way, between the two of them, they didn't get a single vote to stay tonight.
Yeah.
Like, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It was rough seeing them up against each other, and then it was rough seeing them go one after the other.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I
do
like that
this.
comment.
Yeah, I didn't think about this.
Yeah.
So since Tiffany and Hannah are in jury, DF cannot lie in final 2 and say he created the cookout. Yeah, thank you, B Bean, for that one. Yeah,
We love
I didn't think
that.
of that.
You
And I
love to
like
see
that
it.
a lot. All right. I'd love to see the footage surrounding that and those conversations. Yeah, that's really good. Also echoed. Tiffany is going to manipulate the whole jury. Yeah. Also,
We talked about
correct.
that a while ago too. Like
Yep.
when we first got to jury, when we were realizing like, oh yay, Tiffany made it to jury. And I don't remember which of us said it, but we were talking about how like now that Tiffany is in jury, they have to be really careful about who sends her there and who is left over in the game because she has
Yep.
done an incredible job of socially manipulating this entire game so far. So having her in jury is absolutely going to poison the minds of whatever she thinks she wants the winner to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, good. And I hope it's against Kyland.
I mean, with or without Tiffany, I don't see Caitlyn having the votes.
I mean,
I don't either.
he has Sarah Beth now pissed at him. I don't know if she's going to get over that and still vote for him to win. Brittany's against him.
I
So,
can't imagine who Sarah Beth would be angrier with. You know, like, so who's sitting next to, like, who wouldn't get her vote? Like, now. Like, there's nobody else that's going to make her angrier than Kyland already has. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't think he has a shot for hers. Nobody's going to vote for him. Like, DX wouldn't, especially now that you sent Tiffany out there, even though he's not thrilled with the whole Claire thing. I think he'll get over it. They didn't show that he was over it unless I missed it or kind of overlooked it. But like, I think he will get over it, especially
Yeah.
when she comes in the house and she explains like what's going on. Like,
Sure.
I think
Yeah.
he was just like shocked by the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think that even before Tiffany comes in, like I'm sure Claire and him will talk
Mhm.
about most feelings, you know. So I could see Claire and DX talking about it and like that not even being an issue once Tiffany comes in.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's all I have for tonight. I mean, didn't end the way it was supposed to. Is there anything anybody would like to add? Oh, wait a minute. Julie's outfit tonight.
I was waiting for you to bring
Like,
it up.
I know. I thought about it at 23 minutes in, and I thought about, oh, wow, I can't believe we went 23 minutes. We didn't discuss that outfit. And then it was at 28. I said, wow, still haven't discussed it. And now it's 52. That outfit. I'm sorry. I understand we did not plan on having a double eviction again. But like that's all she could pull out. That was it. That jacket
I
was
saw
atrocious.
On
Like,
her Instagram, she had posted a picture like broke out the ponytail for the second double eviction, and I was like, Kyle's gonna have something to say about this.
my
Like the second I
God.
saw the picture, I was like, he's gonna be pissed.
Like,
I
it's
mean,
like,
I double tapped it because she's still Julie, but
Right.
I'm not thrilled.
it's like we're getting our final 4 tonight. Like, come on, you gotta.
I know. Like,
You gotta
come
step it
on,
up.
come on. This is our second double eviction in a row. I mean, come on, and that's
First
what you
time
pulled
ever.
out. What a mess! What a mess!
do you want me to give my 4 picks for Celebrity Big Brother?
Oh yes. Before we go,
Oh.
Nice.
who do you want to see in the celeb house?
Okay, so I had mentioned this to you, but Brandy's brother, Ray J, who made Kim Kardashian famous with the sex tape.
Oh, that was
Wait a minute.
Wait,
I thought you were gonna get away with that.
what was that you
So-
said?
He just quietly goes, I saw that last night.
I totally said Ray J. Totally said Ray J.
Wow!
Oh, did you say Ray J?
I did. I stole it.
You stole
He
my
had
Ray
such a long
I did, I stole it.
explanation for why.
I
All
stole
right,
it.
so,
But no, but it is yours. It is yours. There it is. There it is.
Oh,
It's
that's
yours.
funny.
There it
That's
is.
very
Came
funny.
the truth came out.
Well, you did not officially claim him.
That's very funny.
It was just kind of left there.
Leslie Jordan from Will and Grace.
Love
Okay.
Leslie Jordan.
I like
Yes. Yeah.
Sherry Shepherd, because I just feel like her political views could be little drama making.
Yeah,
And
because she's shocking.
last-
She's shocking.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Ooh, wow.
Ooh.
That would be interesting.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Because nobody wants to claim her. And Ray J made her stepdaughter famous with a sex tape. So there would be that drama in the house.
That would be very interesting, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm even more on board with the other picks that we had in there with the Tommy Laren.
Yeah.
You know, what is Tommy Laren?
You're really wanting Tommy Laren in that.
I do
Really?
because as much as I hate her,
tense.
I like hearing her speak.
I don't know if I could watch.
I know.
I every time I hear her speak, like the
My
longer it
blood
goes on,
boils.
yeah, I just the angrier and angrier I get.
I do find her entertaining. I don't like anything she says, but she does make me chuckle.
Can you imagine Tommy Laren, Caitlyn Jenner, and Tiffany Pollard in a conversation?
And Nene Leakes
I
and
mean it.
Kellyanne
Leakes.
Conway. I mean, come on,
Oh
this
my god.
amazing. And then you've got Miranda Cosgrove, like, come on, guys.
Can't we all just get along?
Come on. I'm going to play so long. God, he's so good. He's so good.
I wonder if Caitlyn Jenner would come on. You know, she was just
I'm
running,
sure she would. I'm
Right,
sure she would.
she was just running for governor of California, lost. You know, so she's
Oh,
been
that's
in the
already over?
That was this Tuesday.
She's
Oh.
this season's Omarosa.
You know, so she's been in the news.
She could
Oh,
use
man.
a bump. She could use a bump. What about jobless Meghan McCain?
That's interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, we take her. We take her.
We'll take her.
She doesn't have anything else to do. So,
Got the,
Kellyanne
she got-
Conway, Meghan McCain,
this is too much. This is too much now. This is
Nene
getting-
Leakes,
We've gotten out of hand.
Yeah.
Ray J.
How many cast members do we have now? 24.
Something like that.
This
I
is
don't
gonna
know,
have
man.
to just be a regular season.
Double eviction every week.
Yeah.
I love it. This is a house of chaos.
This is chaos, but I can't take this many people that I like despise. Like, I can't.
Oh,
I
God.
don't think they'd last that long. I mean, it's sped up. They'd be out quick.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be dealing with them that long.
This cast really took a turn, man. I'm sitting here like,
Yeah.
AJ McLean, and Kyle's like, Gagas.
Yeah. Miranda Cosgrove from iCarly, and now we're talking about Meghan McCain and Tommy Laren.
Miranda Cosgrove would get eaten alive.
That poor girl would she'd be the crying girl.
You need one.
Oh boy!
And I still want to bring Shannon Elizabeth back in the house. I really liked her, and I just felt like she got like a really, really bad hand dealt to her.
She did.
You know? She did. You know, I felt bad for her. They kept saying how she was like the best. She's going to be the best Big Brother player of all time. I don't know where they got that from. I thought she was entertaining, but like she didn't need to go so soon. She wasn't that much of a target. The poor girl. She should, bring her back. She's most certainly not doing anything. I mean, does she do anything? Maybe she does.
She's like, I don't know, saving animals.
Yeah.
So sounds like she's got plenty of time. All right. Well, now I'm done.
Well, it's a worthy cause. Worthy cause.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got the Jinky episode tomorrow. I have plans tomorrow. I can't go live tomorrow. We're gonna just keep our usual time. We'll see everybody on Monday.
On Monday?
Yeah. Like. Something
Yeah,
else
I
going
mean,
on.
I guess.
All right.
I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch that episode.
Yeah, we're gonna forget everything that happened
Yeah.
between now and then, but
Tomorrow
sure.
night's episode.
Yeah. Unless you want to pop over on the weekend, we'll let you all know in the socials.
Yeah.
But thanks, Tommy, for joining us again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having me.
It's a really good time. Sorry our faves left.
I know.
At least we had each
Sorry,
other to
Kate.
help us through. It's sad. Thanks everybody for chiming in. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share with a friend, and we'll catch you soon. Thanks a lot.